If it hadn't been done right, Homer's Phobia could have been such an awful episode of The Simpsons. But honestly, I think it's a really great message, a really great episode. And it seems that people agree. It's got 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb across 4,000 reviews and ratings to date, which is a pretty great rating. This was released in May 1997. It's directed by Mike B. Anderson. And I'll read the description from IMDb. I don't usually read the descriptions from IMDb when discussing a Simpsons episode, but I think this one sums it up really well, or at least provides some context about what it addresses. And this says, after Marge befriends John, a gay store owner, Homer worries that his presence will have a negative effect on Bart's sexuality. And as the title suggests, he is basically homophobic, or at least displaying homophobic tendencies. And Homer is the only person who is behaving like this, which I think is really important. Had it been the whole family behaving like this, or multiple people, then it might have been a kind of us against them approach. But it's not. It's very much everybody else against Homer. So clearly suggesting straight away that Homer being, quite frankly, anti-gay is not what the show is trying to suggest. John as a character is very likable. I took to this character straight away. He's voiced by John Walters, and I have to say the store he owns is wonderful. There are so many knickknacks and bric-a-bracy kind of things everywhere, and little kitsch things all over the place. I have a lot of fun watching the scenes in the store, because I feel like I've seen this episode 3 times over the last couple of years, I think, and I always kind of discover something new. Or I understand a different pop culture reference from within that store, and that's something that I really love. But Bart spends a lot of time with John, and yeah, Bart does begin to maybe act a little bit like John, or dress a bit like John, and Homer's fear is that he's going to turn Bart gay, which first of all is nonsense. But it's not just that Homer is worried that his son will become gay, he's outwardly negative towards John. And again, if they'd done this wrong, or they hadn't quite got the tone right, it could have been seen as a homophobic episode, but it isn't. I think it's very clear that nobody is in agreement with Homer. The episode is not in agreement with Homer, and it helps that John is a very likable character. So I really enjoy this episode for all of the right reasons. It's really good fun. John is a brilliant character. I have a lot of fun, as I said, with the scenes that are animated in the store. And how the episode concludes itself, I kind of won't go into too much detail about this, but I'm not 100% sure I'm a big fan of kind of the ending. I don't dislike it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and it really hits the message home, but I just didn't love it. I don't know what I would have preferred, but I'm not, every time I've seen the ending, I kind of think you're not as fun as the rest of the episode, and I can see why they took a more serious angle, but just for me personally, I would have preferred something different, but I don't know exactly what, so I can't really complain too much, can I? Either way, Homer's Phobia could have been awful, but I honestly think that it's brilliant. It really sends the right message, and I expect it's an episode that I will always enjoy.